Hiya.
Hello, Jen. Oh, I've got an interesting one that we're talking about today
Mm-hmm.
that's come up. So perhaps we can just say that before we do these conversations, we meditate, don't we, beforehand, and we see what guidance, I guess, we get about, what we can talk about. So it's
Yeah.
not kind of really pre-planned, is it? But we do,
No, it's never pre-planned. So we get together and then we have a little chat for 3 or 4 minutes, and then we do a meditation, a silent meditation, not guided in any way, for 3 or 4 minutes,
Mm.
and then we get ideas of what to say.
Yeah.
So, and then we start talking, then we suddenly say, oh, we should press record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually find that with me, with meditation, um, I have to wait a little while before the guidance comes in. Otherwise, it's just my head. It's the busyness of my
Yeah.
head that's kind of giving
Me
me
too.
ideas.
Me too. It's like shaking my head a little bit, and I
Yeah,
put out all the stuff that's going on,
yeah,
like what I've been doing, seeing the sun coming in, and
yeah,
and then it sort of settles down, and then something comes up.
yeah.
So, oh, that's it. So there was a conversation I was telling you about that I had with a friend about church, and she mentioned that she had a friend who didn't believe every word of the Bible. And I shared that with you because I think that's quite popular, that a lot of people don't read or don't even know every word of the Bible. But I think this particular person was a churchgoer who knows the Bible, that didn't believe all of it as it is the word of God. And so we were talking a bit about that. And then I said, and later on, I reminded myself that it's what I've sort of realized lately is that the Ten Commandments, I think, are very succinct. And more recently, the seven sins, I call the seven cardinal sins, are what we need to abstain away from.
Mhm.
And I think that's, and we just spoke about that and sort of agreed that this is just covers
Yeah,
everything, doesn't it?
yeah. And I think I was saying that I haven't looked at what the Ten Commandments. I don't know them. I couldn't reel them off my top of my head, and I couldn't reel off the seven sins. But I know that if you was to say them, or if I was to read them, I would think, oh yeah, I know that, and I
Yeah,
know that because they're kind of like common sense,
it's all common
aren't they?
sense. So I've just gone onto the internet here, um, and they're written. They're sometimes written in different ways. There's like the old style
Yeah.
version and what it means. So no, so and I love the way it's done from 1 to 10. Um, and I and it does seem to be in order of importance, the same as the cardinal sins.
Okay, could you go through briefly the
Yes,
10? And I'm going to write down,
yeah, in your own.
I'm going to rate myself.
Okay, then. So number one, looking at this website, wherever it is here, it says, "You shall have no other gods before me." So what does that mean? I think it means there's just one God, God of all there is.
And I was raised with an understanding that God can also mean worshipping celebrities.
Oh, really?
Worshipping, yeah, worshipping other things.
Oh, hang on, that's number two. So
Ah,
number two is you shall not make idols.
that would
So
be it.
it's connected, isn't it? So
Yeah,
the first one is just there's there's one God because it means one God of all that is. Bit like in the theta healing, which is how we connected with each other
Yeah,
originally through, well, one of the things we connect with theta healing. When we talk in theta healing about the creator of all that is. So it just means
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah,
Everything is of God. So that's number one, and that's the most important thing. And it also means we are all one, because everything is of one, and there is one God, which is everything. Number two, you shall not make idols. So it means don't worship, yeah, as you
yeah.
say,
Like celebrities.
is other people or big blocks of stone or
Yeah, yeah.
in
Pop stars, anything.
person.
Influencers.
Yeah, that's right, influencers. Number three, now this is quite high. We spoke about this. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain.
Oh my word. Well, even these three I've not been good at so far. But yeah, that is, we were talking about that,
Yes.
wasn't we?
We were saying if we drop something, can we
Yeah.
say,
Oh my
oh
God.
my God, yes. It's a
Yeah.
common
How
thing.
common is that,
Mm.
for people to say things like that? Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Yes. Why are we saying it?
And where have we learned it? Because it is common, isn't it?
And
What a
why do we have
strange thing to learn as a child,
yeah,
potentially, that sort of language.
yeah. Because what does it actually mean?
Mm,
I'll be blaming God. Oh my God, I've gone and dropped that cup.
yeah,
It's your fault. It's not, you know, what is that about?
yeah. And I'm really taken back by the feeling, the energy
Hmm.
behind those words as well, whether it feels neutral, positive, or negative.
It's not loving, is it?
No, no, and that's what I find interesting, is the words and what's behind it. So why do we do it? Why have we learned to do that?
And how can we unlearn it?
Yeah, what other words can we use? We
So we
didn't find that easy, did we, Jen?
didn't, because we realized that oh gosh means oh God, oh goodness
Yeah,
and comes from oh God. But you came up with something I quite liked, which is oh no. Well, that doesn't relate to the God word.
yeah, but it still doesn't have
It's
a
still that
fantastic
negative energy,
feeling
isn't it?
behind it. Yeah, there's like a blocking
Yeah.
kind of energy with that word.
Yeah.
But you
So
did come up with something else though,
I
Jen,
did,
after that.
but whether you can shout out, oh, how interesting. I wonder why that happened. But that would just stop that block, wouldn't it? It would open up a different channel. Oh, now why would that happen? Because in reality, that would be great to think, oh, how come I've broken that? And maybe it stopped us from doing something else or made us think about or to be careful. There's a message in everything, isn't there?
What about the words oh dear?
That's a good one. Oh dear. That's actually kind, isn't it? Because that's what we might say to a child that's fallen and grazed their knees. You might say, "Oh dear." Then you'd say, "Never mind. Let's."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh dear, that might be okay.
Instead of, oh my God,
Or
Jesus
oh no,
Christ.
oh dear,
That sort of words.
oh dear. Um, can a man say that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's got to be a word that they feel comfortable with. And this is, you can play around with these words a little bit. We've got to find something that sits well with ourselves that we can repeat. Because this is about replacing our
Yeah,
words, isn't it?
What about if we change oh no to oh yes?
Well, it'd be quite funny.
It would, wouldn't it? Oh
I
yes.
mean, I did drop something this morning all over my kitchen floor, and
Yeah.
that would have been, and I didn't go all stress head or anything, but that would have been quite amusing if I'd have said, "Oh yes."
Actually, I dropped something as well this morning.
Did you? How weird.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't me. It was my grandson. He dropped this like box of puzzles, and it's like little tiny piece of wood all over them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I had to pick them all up. And yeah, I did it much more kindlier than if I'd have dropped it. Like it was much more, oh dear, okay, we've got to pick these up.
Okay, so if we say that to a child, if that's very
Mm,
common, the
mm.
sort of language that we would, you know, intend to use, something loving and calm and kind, when does that change then? When all of a sudden we start using words like Jesus Christ, oh my God.
When we're stressed and we're in a rush, it's going to come out more like that, isn't it? So you're dashing out to get to the car and you're picking up things and you fall over something. So when we're stressed and on a time schedule, it's
Why
easier
would we use those words? If
because
they're part of like the Ten Commandments, why would we use those words?
it's been passed down, isn't it? Habitually. This is what,
Yeah, yeah,
and you're right. Why don't we just focus on the Ten Commandments instead of reading all these stories that some people believe and some people don't?
yeah,
There, isn't it? So anyway, that's number 3. Number 4 is what we also spoke about. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
yeah,
We were saying how busy we are 7 days a week,
yeah,
and how important and how I mean, I do have, like, I think we both have our weekends off, but we're still like busy. And
yeah.
maybe we keep Saturday for the busy shopping, DIY, and then Sunday to relax.
Mm. But it sounds good, but we don't do it, do
But
we?
we
It does
can.
take some discipline,
Yeah.
doesn't it? And I think we all kind of understand what's happened with Sundays, because obviously when I was growing up, Sundays were a day of rest. I actually was in a house where I was not allowed out on a Sunday unless it was church. It was a complete day of rest. So my friends would be out playing, and that wasn't permitted for me. So I grew up with that kind of messaging. So I understand kind of what happened with Sundays, with the shops remaining open. There was this idea that, people have more time to catch up on stuff that they need, food shop, clothes shop, that sort of thing. Obviously, there's the whole consumerism, materialism thing going on. We kind of know about that. But I do feel that it would be beautiful to
Yeah.
have, it doesn't have to even have to be a Sunday,
Oh, I
uh,
think it
but
should Sunday.
but
Well,
Sunday
I know you're right. It doesn't, it could be a
was, yeah,
Saturday or a Friday.
yeah,
Yeah.
but a day where
Yeah.
we are all encouraged to
Yes.
step away from screens, go out in nature, read
Yes.
a book,
Or do
and
what
be
our
together.
soul needs
Yeah, yeah,
as, yeah.
and not kind of you know, catching up, trying to
Yeah.
make the week go a little bit more
Yes, because
smoothly.
we lose our life, don't we, if we're just constantly on the go. And
Yeah,
that's number 4.
yeah. We're on number 4, go on.
That's so number 1, there's only one God. 2, um, only celebrate me, just your God. 3, no blasphemy. Is that blasphemy? Taking the
Yeah, I
Lord's
think so.
name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, number 4, keeping one day a week as the Sabbath holy. Isn't this great? Number 5, honor your father and your mother. Okay, that's really important.
I think
For
it depends how you interpret that one, though.
Okay, I know that that there's a small percentage of not good mothers and fathers, but we can still honor them in terms of they gave me life. And in family constellations, we thank our ancestors for passing life through to, we just thank them um, for birthing us. Because, you know,
Yeah,
another philosophy whereby
yeah,
we choose our parents to learn wherever.
yeah. I think I've got a different take on it.
Tell,
So I'd like to come back to that one in a different conversation.
tell me now quickly.
I see it as meaning something a bit different, as in not your physical mother and father, but almost somebody could say the feminine and
Mm.
the masculine. Somebody else might say, um, you know,
But there's Father Sky and Mother Earth.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there's different interpretations of mother and father. It doesn't necessarily, I don't see that it's really about your actual mum and dad.
But I do think it's important to honor our parents because parents give so much to their children.
Yeah. If you've got a good relationship.
Yeah, but we're talking about 99%.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I'm not sure about that.
I think 99% of parents try to be
Yes.
good to their children.
Yeah.
And, and you know, we need to honor that they've tried their best, although they are who they are, might have different personalities, whatever. I think it's important to, you don't have, it doesn't say you have to love them or
No.
do things for them
Yeah.
or keep in contact or whatever, but it just means honor them in your heart. Thank you for
Yeah.
giving.
And it
Yeah.
may even be that, if you, for example, somebody has had a very difficult relationship with their dad,
Mm,
um, stuff like that, because that, we hear that a lot in our work.
yes.
Again, I think it is about almost saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to thank that soul, or I'm going to thank
Like
that
soul level.
person for giving me resilience or giving me determination in life. So again, we're not saying, are we, that if you have a poor relationship or they're abusive in some way, that
We
you know
learn.
thanking them for that, but it is about just trying to, show some gratitude, I suppose, for what it's done for you.
In family constellations,
Yeah,
the love flows down always. And it's true, I believe. It comes from, we generally give love to our downline. Our downline give love to their downline so much, in 99% of the cases, there's so
yeah,
much love that's given
yeah,
and it's not given back. It doesn't
yeah.
go back upstream
I remember
because
you saying that.
we
I found that
hold
very
it,
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, we hold it for our children.
yeah,
That's how it should be. So if we can just honor that flow of love that
yeah,
comes through,
yeah,
you know, even if on occasions it may be contaminated, we could
yeah,
find something to honor. Okay, well, I'm here.
yeah.
And that's honor your father and mother. So it could be physical, it could be father earth, mother sun.
Yes,
And the male and the female to
yeah,
honor where we come from.
yes.
Okay. Number 6. Now this is when we get to the real ones. You shall not murder.
Mm,
Thou shalt not kill.
mm.
So yeah, we cannot take a life. And it doesn't say just people. This is one of the reasons I'm vegetarian. I don't think we have rights to, for me anyway, that's how I interpret, to take a life. How do you see that?
I would need to sit with that a little bit because I was thinking about I wasn't really thinking about it literally. I was thinking about it, can we do that with our words? You know, when we are slagging somebody off in our heads about somebody, I was actually thinking, does that mean literally? Do not murder, do not kill, or is there another interpretation for that as well?
Okay, if we're talking about people, because animals are more controversial, if we're talking about people, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? We
Mm,
could have a terrible community if we go around killing each other.
mm,
I mean, no communities, I don't think, allow people to kill each other.
no,
It's a very obvious one. We can't just kill just to get rid of people.
no.
You're very corrupt. So that's number 6, you shall not murder. Number 7, you shall not commit adultery.
Mm.
Now, likewise, very similar if we're going off having affairs with each other's husbands and wives, whatever, it's just going to cause chaos in the community, isn't it? So if we can prevent doing that, it cuts a whole lot of aggravation out.
Do you think it's a bit tricky, like it's like a grey area?
No,
Because I just think that, you know, certainly may be happening now. It certainly may have happened in the past where people have stayed in marriages and relationships that have not
mm,
been good ones and they have to cope, you
but it
could say.
doesn't say, Wendy, it doesn't say you shall not divorce.
Mm.
So
Oh,
you
okay, yeah.
can divorce and have a new
Yet,
partner.
yeah, and yet that's what
It's just
we,
saying don't play around.
yeah,
If
but we was brought up with those messages, wasn't it? That if you kind of get married, stay married. So that's a really interesting point that you raise. Yeah, it doesn't say you
no,
can't get divorced, and yet that was a rule, wasn't it? That
was once in the church. I think
yeah,
it was in
yeah,
churches that you
but it
can't.
doesn't actually say that.
No,
Mm,
this is the fundamental commandments. Just don't commit adultery with somebody else's partner. So yeah, same if you're single or if you're divorced, you're still committing adultery if you're going off with someone who's still in a relationship. And you can see the common sense that's going to cause
yeah,
heartache,
yeah, and
destruction.
pain.
It
Yeah,
lead, it can lead to murder quite often.
yeah, yeah.
Pain for
Yeah, it's
children.
distressing. It's painful.
Yeah. And yeah, if those two people are now meant to be together, then divorce and
Yeah,
get properly. Number 8, you shall not steal.
yeah,
Another obvious one, isn't it? We
yeah,
don't take what belongs to somebody else because that belongs to somebody else. And number 9 is a good one, I think. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. So when it says your neighbor, it means another person. You shall not bear false witness. So if you're going to court, you don't pretend,
yeah,
yes, I saw them steal that when you didn't,
yeah.
even if you think you're helping out somebody or they would have done, you can't because that doesn't help the truth to come out. It's very important that we don't tell lies in court.
What number are we at now?
9.
Okay, what's the 10th one?
The 10th one is you shall not covet.
What does
Now,
that mean?
I think that means wants what belongs to somebody else in terms of envy, jealousy, like,
Right.
because that can lead to, I don't know, stealing or being nasty or, instead of being glad for somebody,
Mm,
oh, great, you got the promotion. I
yeah,
want it,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay, they got it, it's
They're
acceptance,
being happy,
it's theirs.
genuinely happy for people
Yeah, you
when
see, everything's
something nice.
covered.
Yeah, it is. I don't think it's that simple though. It sounds simple, and I wish life was that simple. But number 9, just remind me what number 9 was.
Not bearing false witness, so not telling lies in court or pretending to someone that you saw something when you didn't.
And what was number 8?
You shall not steal.
You see, I'm going to be quite controversial because I think these are kind of 10 commandments that we can understand, we can appreciate, and we can incorporate them into our lives, can't we, as an individual person, because we have the right to choose to live that way, to be that person. But not everybody plays by those, do they? And I'm thinking
Why
about
we have problems?
I'm thinking about systems and organizations and things where we might not get the whole truth, or we might feel tricked into things. So it's a really big subject, isn't it? Even in families that can happen, can't it?
Yeah, is that so? Yeah, is there a reason sometimes you're saying whereby I need to steal something so that say you're starving and you're
Yeah,
stealing you're
yeah, yeah,
okay to do or
yeah,
to work for somebody else.
yeah,
That that's a sin.
yeah,
Is that when we need to pray to God for something rather than taking? Or maybe we could ask. Yeah.
yeah. I think seeking guidance, because otherwise, depending on how somebody's upbringing or how their brain works, some people could literally see those as very literal statements. And then if somebody doesn't kind of uphold that, then they're going to get a bit like, well, you should be doing this, you're doing it wrong. And yet, I think there are nuances, there are grey areas.
Yeah, we can take it to extreme, like, chopping off somebody's hands if they steal. That's obviously not right. That's worse. That's worse because they're numbered.
Yeah,
Is yeah, that's so that would come under murder, wouldn't it? Murdering somebody's hands, you've taken away their hand, you're harming someone. I think that would be a subsidiary of that, which is above the stealing.
yeah. I think it would be beautiful to kind of do a deeper dive with these, because to
Mm.
help you to navigate your own life a little bit, because some of them are obvious. Like I said, some of them you're never going to face them. You're never going to face a situation of having to kill somebody, are you? Thankfully, luckily. So some of them won't seem applicable, but some may, and some may feel quite tricky to people
I mean,
to navigate.
sometime in our lives we might come across something and hate that person so much
Yeah,
it would so
yeah,
much.
yeah. And it may be feel very justified as well. It may be justified to a lot of people as
Might
well.
even might even cover not murdering ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think there's nuances in this.
Mm.
Um, and especially about how what our relationship is like to ourselves. I think that some of these 10 commandments actually can link to how we treat ourselves. We don't murder ourselves, we don't critique ourselves, we don't criticize ourselves.
But we have that opportunity. We have the ability to kill someone else. We have the ability to kill ourselves.
Yeah,
Um, but according to the Ten Commandments, it's not what we're asked not to do it. We're just asked not to do it.
yeah,
10 Commandments. So next time we can look at the 7 sins. And I've just
yeah,
put this on the internet. I'll tell you what they are. So again, I think it's numbered from 1 to 7. So the first one, the top one, is pride. So yeah, not being too
Mm,
proud of ourselves. Next one is greed, because that causes wars, doesn't it? And,
yeah, yeah,
next one is wrath, which I think means anger. Get anger, which can lead to
yeah,
being
boy, we have a lot of that.
envy, which
Mm,
these things.
mm,
Lust, which is that
mm.
sexual one, and gluttony, just eating too much. A lot of us are subject to that, eating more than we need. And finally, sloth, which I think means uh, being messy and untidy. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, could we talk about that next time?
It's it's interesting, isn't it?
Very interesting, because we
Some,
don't really talk about this stuff, do we? We don't really do a deep dive in it. We don't really question it or dissect it or understand it or think, okay, how can I bring some of that into my life? That where you're not just doing it because it tells you not to do it. You're doing it because it's who you are as a spiritual being. It's being more aligned with actually who you are,
yeah.
isn't it?
And if we are more aligned with who we really are, and as we were saying at the beginning, how we're all part of God. Hmm.
Well, what a really interesting subject. That's just like come
Yeah,
out there. Yeah, yeah, brilliant.
yeah.
I really enjoyed that. There's just so much more I think to explore about that.
Mm. Great. Okay, then let's leave it there.
All right, look forward to seeing you next time, Jen. Bye.